Postgame here with Allen Americans head coach Steve Martinson following a 2-0 win, back-to-back shutouts. Marty, I was trying to remember. I'm going to have to go back and look. It seems like one goalie at one point had back-to-back shutouts during your tenure here. Was it Gill?
Well, it's probably Gil. I remember the one year he had 6 shutouts. So, yeah, I mean, it's Cap. And then, you go back to Wednesday's game, it's 2 goals against. Usually any game that we give up 2 goals in regulation, we're going to win that game too. So, yeah, obviously he's had a pretty good week.
I asked him if he felt different. You talk to guys when they're having a big week like that, whether it's a couple hat tricks or whatever, do you feel different out there? How do you explain that? You play the game of hockey. Does it just happen?
Well, I mean, obviously goalies get in the zone too, and, they get confident. I think, part of it is we've been playing, you go back to Greenville, you go back to some of our games and we give up, boneheaded plays. We give up one-timers in front of the net. We give up, breakaways. And, so I think we've been doing much better job limiting our quality scoring chances against. And then, he showed when he first came in, that I think he had a 9-3-0 for at least 2 or 3 weeks. And then, our team, we lost, it's like right now we have a double dip of COVID. We lose 8 players to COVID, and instead of, folding the tent like some of the teams did in our league, we went and played. And then, this week we lose 8 players in 5 days from our last game on Sunday. And, several of our guys haven't been playing. And, so we had a lot of guys that stepped up and guys played up to their ability. And, I think the new guys that haven't been playing, I think they're only going to get stronger, every game. So it's a good win by the team this week.
Yeah, absolutely. And tonight you get help from, Wheeling, who really beat up on Wichita badly tonight, 7-1. And then you look at Fort Wayne, who goes and loses as well, I believe, in North Charleston. So we get some help. And as you pointed out, the biggest thing is all the home games we have coming up, in April. We're going to catch up, and Wichita is going to have to start going out on the road.
Yeah, they've got to play a bunch of games on the road, and we have the best schedule. We just got to get a few more players because obviously, you get injuries when you play a lot of games. The problem with the 3 and 4 and the 4 and 5 is, the 3 and 3 and the 4 and 5, we haven't been carrying a lot of players, and, some of the teams in the league were carrying 30 players at one time. And, we have to get a few more players now because if we're going to lose guys for whatever reason, we got to make sure we have enough guys to suit up. And, it's like I said, it's hard on the guys. And if you play a team like Tulsa, they don't carry as many players either, but they were able to, fill the full lineup and have, new guys come in. And, they got Monahan back, which is their best player. And they were able to shift a few guys in and out of the lineup. And we should be able to start doing that next week.
Just one last thing back to Kapelmaster. And I think about in the third period when they were putting a lot of pressure on and they had the puck in our zone for a while. Well, he just didn't flinch. He kept making stop after stop. And obviously he wanted that shutout badly tonight too.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. I mean, one of the things you got to remind the players, players like stats. We got guys. One of the reasons that we get a good offensive team is because we play an offensive style. It attracts players that like to score goals and make plays. And, we understand where those stats are important to them. And it's the same thing with our goalies. Our goalies like to have a good save percentage. They like to have a good goals against, and they have a lot of pride. And, Cap's, he's got a lot of confidence. And, he's had confidence from the day one that he stepped in the door. And that's what you need with goaltenders. So, yeah, I'm happy that he's playing so well. And, right now being short staffed, we need everybody to play up to their A game. And that's a critical point when you have a good team. And the other thing that our guys played hard. They back checked. We don't have guys, only playing one way and everybody's buying in. So, we really got a bunch of guys that said, hey, look, no matter what happens, we'll just go out and play hard and give ourselves the best chance to win.
Marty, the hit to Chera to the head, and obviously they got a 5 minutes for that. It should be more when they take a look at it, right?
Well, I would think so. He had another one where the guy hit him from behind and then the guy targeted his head and elbowed him and, caught him right in the head. And, he's probably used to playing in the East in Reading where, they don't have the physical play like we do in the West. So it's probably a bit new to him, but he went after the guy Crom that elbowed him. And Crom had him in a vulnerable spot. And, you know, those are the plays that we don't want our players to do. We don't want to take headshots at guys because I don't want to have my guys have headshots. But it's painful when you have teams that do that. They don't back it up. They don't fight. And they go out and take shots at guys' heads. And he just had enough. You know, it was probably the last time. I don't know how many times you see a Yale graduate, drop his gloves and go after a guy, but he was pretty pissed off, and rightly he should be.
Last but not least, 5 out of 6 points against these guys, have a chance for 7 out of 8 tomorrow. And this was a team that came into, the series with us. You know, they'd won 4 in a row. Of course, they won that game. They'd really taken it to Wichita of late. So, and they get Moynihan back in the lineup tonight. You're taking a little confidence away from a team that was rolling.
Well, and they got to win because they're in a dogfight, for fourth, and everybody's in the tight standings. But like I said, our home schedule, we got guys like Conway that haven't been skating, and he's going to get better. Same with Chiro's going to get better, and some guys that have been depth guys. That one of the reasons that you have to have quality depth guys because like Lancaster, we could lose Lancaster in any minute. He's the best defenseman in the league, and I think everybody knows it. So it's amazing that, in a year, the only reason we probably haven't lost him yet is because the AHL standings really don't mean much. They still don't seem to have a playoff, and I've heard they're not going to have a playoff. So, teams are more concerned with playing their draft picks than they are as much as winning. So, that's, tough for Les, but good for us. But he doesn't want to go up and sit out anyway. If he goes up, he wants to play or stay here and play.
Well, Marty, congratulations. Another great, weekend here. And with all the players we've lost in our lineup over the last, week or two, the fact that we're still winning is pretty amazing, and to the character of the guys in the room.
Yeah, that's dead on. I mean, the guys, it's frustrating, but they just go out and play, and that's what I like tonight. I thought they really played as a group, and if somebody made a mistake, there was somebody to pick it up for them and help them out. And I thought that was nobody was dogging on the back check, and nobody was cheating the system. And I was. I'm really happy that sometimes some adversity pulls you together, and so. It's good that with this group of guys, and I'm excited to keep this thing going.
All right. Thanks a lot, Marty. Appreciate it.
Sure.